here. Okay, now we are recording this. Perfect. Alrighty. So here's an idea, and the reason I share this with you folks is here's what's happening. People out there, your customers, your clients, your prospects, they have a short attention span, and it's getting shorter. You were going to try to write a newsletter like most of you do. You were going to try to communicate with your prospects like most of you do. And you have a lot to say and a lot to share. But I just want to caution you. The people's attention spans are getting very short. That's why I strongly recommend you entering the conversation they are already having. If they're talking baseball, they're going to listen to baseball. They're not going to listen to stereophonics, wherever that came from. But enter their conversation. Their attention span is short. So this was my idea. This is Idea Wednesday. How about that? This is my idea. This is a short, easy blurb. It's not a newsletter. It's called underlines. It's called underlines, and it's just a quote, one quote coming from a book. This one last week, remember if I mentioned it to you, was from Ogilvy, David Ogilvy, and I said let the people talk, let other people talk is what I said. This one is from Speak Like a CEO by Suzanne Bates, page 60. And this is what I got. It isn't just the idea, but the emotion behind the idea that makes you successful. Now, why I share that with you today is because we're going to be talking about ideas. Well, for some of you, not all of you, but for some of you, the last thing in the world you need is another idea. And the reason being is because you have a lot on your plate now. You know what to do. You know what needs doing. I don't have to tell you. No one else has to tell you. It's a personality trait, not a flaw, a trait that people, and I'm one of them, we get caught up in new things and exciting things, and we bounce around a lot. Well, ideas are plentiful, and I want to caution you that just don't be chasing ideas. We have to put the emotion, get connected with an idea and see it through to fruition. That's what I'm trying to say. Now, that being said, ideas stimulate thought processes. I woke up I don't know what it's all about now. I'm 64. I wake up every night. I don't know, at 3 a.m. At 3 a.m., I am awake. I don't get it. And my mind starts. Well, last night, true story, last night I started thinking of some things, and I said, man, if I'm not going to remember this in the morning, I'm going to get up and I'm going to go into the computer and document it, which is exactly what I did at 3 a.m. this morning. You'll notice that today's one of today's reminders was at 4 o'clock. Well, we've got to capture these ideas as they come and see if we connect with them. Not all of them are good, but this was mine. One idea here. Pick up a book, grab a page, read something I underlined, and then say, hey, why did I do that? Where's the message there? Why did I take the time to underline it? Now, where does this come in with you? You can do something like this, and it could be your name, and it could be travel reminders or travel quotes, and just give them one idea. Why one? Because attention spans are short. Why one? Because they will read one, and they will go down and they'll see this guy, Mike Marshev. There's his website, bingo, impression, visibility. For 2 seconds, this person will remember me. So that's why I want to share this very simple technique with you today. Now, this came across my email box this morning, and it jumped out on me. And I thought of you guys. This was a Jamie Browdy. I don't know who she is, but it's a business coach, trainer, speaker. You can see that for yourself. That's who she is. And the people who are just on the phone, you can go catch the recording and see the pictures that I'm showing here. But there's the woman, and there's standalone business freedom, where money and meaning meet. And up top, this is apparently her webpage, her homepage, about her, how to contact her, and then some other thing called your Kickstart Your Inner Game, whatever she has there. I didn't go into it. But how perfect is this? How clean is this? That's your picture, either on your business card or on your website, or on some document, but that says it all. That's not going to burden me. I'm going to read it. Standalone business freedom, where money and meaning meet. There she is. If it means something to me, I'm going to contact her if I want to. I'm reminded of real estate people. You're just a real estate person. You're one of a bazillion people. Well, some real estate companies, I'm going to pick one, Century 21, they're all the same. They look the same. They sound the same. They're all real estate agents. But there's one, I forget the name of it, but it's like an exclusive real estate agent who sells high end property. And you don't see all of the balloons and the fanfare on their card. They're high end luxury real estate people, and you can tell. Well, this to me, you can tell this person just doesn't walk down the street with every other 50,000 other business coaches, trainers, or speakers. She's clean and positioned. So I take this idea and bing, well, it's not very good. Now that I look at it, it's not so good, but putting memories on the road where vacations and memories meet. I don't know. And that's your name, and that's your card, and that's your picture. Here's where the idea came from, and then you turn it into your own. And that's cracked typing there. Now that I look at it, I don't like it at all. But there you go. You get the idea. You can do better than that. That looks clean. This looks a little junky, but you get the idea. There's the idea, how you can benefit with your name up there. So again, an idea of getting the name across. And up here, for example, you could have about yourself. You could have how to contact you. And over here, you could have your packing tips. You could have some kind of a reason for me to click here to get something from you. Let me introduce you by sending you my free report on how to river cruise or whatever it is up there, how to take a cruise, how to do a group cruise, for example. So very clean, and you can get these out regularly. That's why I wanted to share that. Now I have more. I have more behind this, but I just wanted to kick things off. And now I'm going to ask anybody. Let's see, we got a lot of good people here pretty soon they won't be able to get in. I have just unmuted. Okay, you can tell, and I think it's because of the telephone. Scott Cadow and Stacy, and I think hit *6. If you're on a telephone, hit *6. One more. Somebody on a phone, hit *6. Okay. Now you still hear you can still hear me as an echo, but that got rid of that crazy noise. Who wants to share an idea? I'll mute everybody out, and then I'll open up you. Who wants to share? Okay. If nobody wants to share right now, I'll come back to you later. I'm going to mute you all. Okay, everybody's muted now. I gave everybody an opportunity to share an idea. Nobody wanted to do it yet, so I'm going to go on to the next screen that I have. And that is one of our members happens to be on the line today. I applaud him. He knows exactly who he is, KS. He called me up and said, Mike, can I put together some questions? And this is such a great idea, folks. This is something I want you all to do, because you can do it. Go to freeconferencecall.com and read. It's a free software. It's free. Go to www.freeconferencecall.com and read it. There you go. How about that? Find out what it is. And it's a bridge line. Well, here's how it's going to work. This particular member called me up and said, Mike, can I interview you? And I said, I've been preaching this for 20 years. It's such a no-brainer. Yes. So I said, you go get 10 or 15 interview questions, and I'll probably throw about 5 of them back at them because they're not good, but who knows? They might be excellent. We'll see. But I'm going to know the questions before the phone call. So I'm going to have my homework done. I'll have my answers done. And then this person's going to call me up on free conference call, and we are going to have a conversation. He is going to play the David Letterman position. He's going to interview me. He's going to ask me questions because I just got off of a river cruise. I'm a customer. Now, I'm not a speaker or an author or a coach. I'm a customer of river cruising. So he's going to call me up and he's going to ask me what I liked, what I didn't like, how it worked, what to watch out for, the whole deal. And we're going to have a conversation on the telephone. It's going to take 15 or 20 minutes. But before we start, he's going to hit the record button like we do on the inner circle here. And he's going to have a recording from a satisfied river cruiser on tape, on a recording. It's an MP3 file that now he can either embed into his website as an MP3 file, or he can use it anytime somebody says, hey, what about this river cruising thing? What are we going to do about that? He said, hey, I just interviewed a guy that just got off. Let me send you the file. So he sends a link to this audio. And who sells the river cruise for him? I do, because I'm a happy client. And he'll have this for the next 25 years. So, and he can press release this if he wants to see if he gets miles out of it. So this is how we do business. We interview our clients. If you want to know about anything, give us a call. Yeah, but this is going to be done. This is what I call a no-brainer, but it's a great idea that everybody in the inner circle can do it because you don't have to be the public speaker. Go interview your clients. Go interview the people who just took the trip. That's what you want to do, is interview the people who took the trip and have a phone conversation. Don't stay up nights. Don't rehearse. Just chat on the telephone. And you might caution the person to try to keep the answers pretty short, pretty concise. Don't cut them off, but you want to give the message, but you don't want this to be a 2-hour bit. You want it to be a 20-minute bit. Why? Because your clients aren't going to invest more than 20 minutes into listening to it. Now, the beautiful thing about a free conference call, for example, is after you record it, you now can send through an email a phone number. It doesn't have to be an MP3 file. If that technical stuff scares you, what's MP3 mean? Holy cow. You then can send them a phone number. They dial the phone number and they can hear your recording. So it's a beautiful thing. And KS and I are going to hash it out. And when we do, I'm sure we're going to put it up on the inner circle to show everybody how cool it is. So that's what I call a no-brainer idea, and it's you can do that today. Yeah, absolutely, you can do it today. Now, another one of our members, he came up with this idea, and that was he packaged a trip. And he said, well, I have a trip going. I know when it's going to leave. I know where we're going to stay. I know what we're going to do. The whole thing is packaged. And he is trying to sell this idea to his marketplace. Well, he approached me and said, Mike, now that it's done, why don't I offer this to other agents in the inner circle to see if they can offer it to their clients for a commission? So it's, to me, again, this is a no-brainer because you don't have to do any work. You just have to write an email saying, hey, we know of a trip to Hawaii that most people can't buy off the shelf. If you're interested, let me know. Now, that's all you have to do. That's all the selling you have to do. And you send it out to your marketplace. And you don't have to do any work. Zip, nada, nothing. Now, here's the rub. The rub is that I found this out a long time ago. This idea came from this particular person. People have a tendency to buy in to their own ideas and not buy into other ideas. That's just the way it is. So this idea is a great idea, but to have you folks jump on it, we have to see how this is going to work because historically it doesn't work. Is it a good idea? It's a great idea. Why? Because now you have a reason to go to people. You have a reason to be visible. You have a reason. Now, if they're not interested in Hawaii, there's a good chance that they might say, well, Hawaii is a little bit too far for me, but do you have anything in Des Moines, Iowa? Bingo. Now you got a lead. So This is what I would call a lead generator. And if he does want to go to Hawaii, it's a no-brainer because you don't have to do any work. You just hook him up with this other agent, and away you go. Now, just so you know, I just got a message on my board that anyone else trying to get into this can't because we have the limit of 26 people on go to meetings. Now, go to webinar, we can have 1,000, but go to meetings, we can only have 26. And the reason I went to go to meetings is because I thought we would have dialogue, because the go to meeting software can have interaction, whereas the go to webinar is one way. So again, we're learning here. I'm going to get some flack because some people can't get in. They're going to have to listen to the recording. And I'm sorry, but that's the way it goes. Okay. And by the way, it's 20 past 1, so you snooze, you lose. So I guess that's really the right answer. Okay, so we're back to Hawaii tour as an idea. Before I go further, I want to just go down into the question box. And the last thing I have from Carrie is a thanks. Anybody else, type into the box here if you want to talk, and I can. That's the best way we'll do it. That's why we can keep order here. Type into the box, and if anybody wants to add or subtract or call me a crook or whatever you want to do, and now's the time to do it. Incidentally, while I'm waiting for somebody to type something in, you all know that I've put together a program as a thank you. Now I want you to know this. AMA Waterways was kind enough to give me a trip down the Danube from Wilshofen, Germany, which is south of Prague, down to Budapest. So I wanted to thank them. So I built this river cruising in a box, and it's done. And you can go look at it now at www.moreonseries. That's MOREON series.com/river cruising. Now, this was my idea. www.moreonseries.river cruising. And you can go there and check it out, and chances are you're going to learn something there. Well, today I started promoting it. So I sent it to Travel Research Online as a press release. I sent it to Agent at Home as a press release, and I sent it to the Travel Market Report as a press release. I'm going to send it to everybody. I'm going to send everybody who's not nailed down who's going to know about this. And I'm anxious to see if they won't all pick it up as a press release. They won't. But if I don't send it, they won't. So we'll stay tuned. The River Cruise in a Box is available to you now at moreonseries.com/river cruising. And it's free. It's free, no strings attached. And like that. So that's kind of a cool project that I've been working on. And let's see how and speaking of tweaking, I sent it to a friend of mine last night, and he got on the phone and says, Mike, we ought to think about this. So I did a little bit of a change on the homepage because it made sense. So so that's what you do, is you have an idea and then you throw it out to see if it bounces, see if it flies, and you live to fight another day. That's the way it works. That's the fun of marketing, because you just don't know when that phone is going to ring. Okay, let me just see here. I'm reading something here. Idea: on the heels of last week's sales meeting, I would like to organize your Inner Circle seminar. Inner Circle seminar at Sea Conference. Okay, so we might. Who knows? It hasn't been kicked off yet, but we might have an Inner Circle conference somewhere where just the Inner Circle members get together. We're building our numbers pretty good, and we'll see what happens. All right. So thank you for that, KS. All right. Let me go to the next slide. See what we have here under the idea. Well, the fishbowl. We talked about the fishbowl, and one of our members said they already had that in motion. And the fishbowl idea was to go to your local restaurant and offer to buy one of their members a free lunch, or a free lunch for two, maybe. I don't know what it is. And you give them a bowl, a fish bowl, and they put their business cards in it, and you put your name and travel agency clearly by that fish bowl. And you do that so they don't think you're doing an end run on the restaurant, because you're going to take those names and you're going to thank them for entering the competition. that nobody does. No, everyone just takes your card, picks a winner, and nobody knows if, they don't know what's going on. They don't even know if they do pick a winner. There's no feedback at all. Well, you're going to go to the restaurant and you're going to offer to give feedback in the form of a thank you. And it's going to be coming from your agency, and you're going to invite the people to stop by if and when they want to start planning a trip. Now, the way you write that, the way you show your personality will be the hook. That'll be the hook. You could screw it up. You could then be bland and boring. You can do that too. You can shoot yourself in the foot. But this is an opportunity for you to go out and become more visible in your immediate marketplace with buying a $20 free lunch for two people. And don't be chintzy. Don't say, well, the soup isn't included. Duffy's is a restaurant chain down here, and they sent me a certificate, said, as your birthday, you get a free entree at Duffy's. So I go down there and I look at the menu, and there's $12 and $14, and there was a rack of ribs for $18. And I said, could I get the ribs? Could I go to the top of this list? She says, absolutely. It's a free dinner, not with caveats, not with, no soup, no bread, no butter, and everything's extra. So it was really a cool deal. I felt good about it. Duffy's is my favorite place, but you can do the same thing. So that's an idea. You won't know if it works. Don't tell me that you think it won't work. Don't tell me that. Tell me you're too lazy to go out and buy a fishbowl. You can tell me that. Tell me you don't want to spend the $2 for the fishbowl. You can tell me that. Tell me that you just don't believe in free lunches. Tell me that. But don't tell me it doesn't work until you prove to yourself that it doesn't work. So if you don't want to do it, you can tell me that. I don't want to do it, Mike. This is nuts. I don't want to do it. But don't tell me you don't want to do it because you don't think it will work, because that gets me upset. Okay, now this is a blurry picture. I understand that. But this goes back to my little underlines idea. I particularly liked this banner. This came through the email. Her name was Susan Solovic, attractive young lady there on the right, the small business expert. And I remember, it just made me think of somebody in our group who was titled the cruise expert. You know who you are. And this just struck me as a nice, clean picture, a nice big name, the travel agent, your local travel agent expert. Just a little, I would say specialist, because you specialize in travel. Expert means you know everything, and that's a little bit dangerous. So you can use it. It's a play on words, but I believe you're a specialist versus an expert, because an expert knows everything, and I don't think you do know everything. But that being said, this was the banner of her long, long newsletter. Let's say it goes down 18 inches on my computer screen. Well, what I did was I cut the banner, because I liked the banner. I cut that out, and I just pasted it on a paragraph that I liked down in the newsletter. And it goes along with my way of thinking. I think that people are going to see the picture. Now, remember this, folks. Pictures draw the eye. Pictures work. It doesn't have to be an attractive picture. You put a picture somewhere, the eyeball will go to it. You can take that one right to the bank. So the picture brings me to the banner. I got the name. I got the small business expert, the nice background. I will invest reading these 8 lines. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 lines. And I'll just share this with you. I blew that out myself, but success depends on practicing the business fundamentals daily. That's what I picked. Daily, folks. Fundamentals daily. Keeping your eye on the goal, being willing to be coached, and maintaining a strong, committed work ethic. That's the answer right there. If you can buy into that blue paragraph, you're halfway home. Now, keep in mind here, but there are lots of passionate people in the world who never achieve their goals. See, passion alone doesn't do it. You can be passionate about travel all you want. You can love travel all you want, and that alone won't do it. That's because building a business is plain old hard work. Okay, we know that. And if you don't have the discipline, there you go, I like that word, to get up and get out and get other people glad they know you every single day, then you're not going to make it in this game. After all, if it was easy, everybody would be doing it. And as we all know, nobody does it. So, point being, good message. People will read it. Your name, your picture, who knows, it might get a phone call. So, let me pause again. Um, let me just go back and read some of these because now we're getting some action here. Hold on a second. All right. So you got to grease the skid, folks. Hey, and listen to me. Here's another free tidbit. When you're in front of a group of people and you pause and you say, are there any questions? Nobody will ask a question because they don't want to be the first one. But if you can grease the skids, if you can put a little oil out there, then they'll start coming fast and furious. So to protect yourself, what you do, you say, oh, are there any questions? I'm really having a good time up here, but let me pause. Are there any questions out there in the audience? And then nobody will answer. So you don't embarrass anybody. You say, well, let me tell you the question I get most from audiences like this. And then you ask yourself a question and then answer it. You also could have the meeting planner say, look, I'm going to ask for a question, Susie, and if nobody asks me a question, I want you to ask me this one. And you hand her an index card with a question on it. She then asks you the question that you asked yourself. You answer it. That will grease the skids. People will start asking questions. And it works. I mean, I've been doing this for 35 years, and that's the way it works. So now one person asks questions, and they start coming in. So let me just check here. Let me see if I can pick out something here. Referring to the Hawaii tour idea, does anyone ever promote a travel with your travel agent type trip, a travel with your travel agent? Yeah, well, the answer is yes to that, but I'll go on, Nancy, where the client just has to sign up and the travel agent takes care of the details. Yes, it's a travel. I know cruise consortiums. When somebody starts a cruise franchise, that's the first thing they suggest, and I think Joe By will endorse this. And that is, they say, go take a cruise and then invite all your friends and all your families to come with you. Cruise with Mike. I'm taking a cruise. Who wants to go? And then when they sign up, you do take care of everything. That's a great idea, Nancy. And it's Cruise with Nancy. You take a cruise and invite everybody in the world to come. And here's the trick. Invite them to invite their friends. See, in other words, just not Nancy's friends. If you're a friend of Nancy, you're a friend of mine, a friend, and let it go down the pipeline. Because then you might get the old the viral thing going, and you might end up with 10,000 people on the ship. Don't quote me on that. When the client is assigned, let me see. I was thinking of putting together a few trips a year. Well, Nancy, my idea, don't put a few trip, put one. Prove it, test it, do it. Do one, not a few, do one and see if it flies. That's my question there. Okay, Jan, let's see, picked up my Jan already bought a goldfish bowl. Cool. Picked out my restaurant to promote. Good. Okay. Jan, you're right on top of things. And Joe, how many fish bowls can I try? Just try one. See if it works. But if you want, if you can't, it's free. It doesn't cost you anything. Just toss a few out. Now, as far as the Nancy cruise goes, Oli came in and said, I've done 3 cruise with Oli. Just as you said, I had a family, friends, and their contacts that I did not know or would not have gotten any other way. So there you go. Good idea, would probably be a good start. Good. Okay, so now we're cooking. That's good. Okay, let me just see if, okay. Let me see if I go to the next slide and see what we have going here. Oh, okay. I took this idea, the Susan Slovak thing, a Solovic thing, and I just for fun, I just slapped that together. Okay. And your sales and marketing expert, expert, not expert, should be specialist. I just caught myself. Your sales and marketing specialist or coach, your sales and marketing coach would have been better. There's a photo, a monthly travel postcard trip. Okay, but that's mine's marketing, but yours is postcard. And here's the rule of 12. And I explain it in large print. Now, I took this idea. Okay, here's where I got the idea. Remember, that was a regular newsletter, cut and pasted. I like it. It's easy to read. It'll serve the purpose. Now I shoot down here and I say, well, that needs a little work. And then I went to this, which is the same idea. I just put a little color in the banner because here, look, no color in the banner. Ooh, there's color in the banner. So I said, that looks better. So I then put some color in the banner and bada bing. Now I have something that I can send. I'm not telling you, give me 20 minutes to read this. I'm giving you a snippet. And lo and behold, if you want to contact me, there I am down below. Have a nice day. I got to move on. That's what you're doing. I'm here to help you. Here's the rule of 12. Don't quit on people. It takes time. See you around. And I can do that. I could do it once a week and not offend people. I could do it once every 2 weeks. And certainly, oh, look at this. Month, 18 month. Don't spell that like that. Here's what I want you to do. When you copy this word for word and you steal everything, change his picture and spell correctly. That's what I want you to do. Okay. So let's get off this. Now, here's another idea. There's a million of them, folks. Ideas are so cool. But what they take is practice. That's what they take. Let me get off there so you don't. Oh, there's month 2. I can't get rid of that. I wrote it everywhere. Okay. This is an idea that came from this concept. You don't call enough people, number one. Number one, you don't. You don't pick up the phone enough, but that's another story. But when you do, you know you're going to get voicemail more often than not. You know that. So in that case, why don't we spend 5, 10, 15 minutes scripting out something that makes sense when we get the voicemail? Because now you don't. I know you don't. Now you wing it. You call somebody, you don't know what you're going to say if they answer, but when they don't answer, you still don't know what you're going to say. But because you're a good salesperson in your mind, you have the gift of gab, which is a real smack in the head, and then you wing it. And then you wonder why things aren't working for you. So let's do some homework under the term voicemail. So if I'm going to get a voicemail, what do? Well, I met you last night and I want to follow up on the telephone. So here's an idea. Hey, Roger, this is Mike Marshev. Now, I'm appalled at how people leave their phone numbers on the telephone today. Still, it drives me crazy. 555-937-5285. I mean, I know you know the number. I don't know the number. Pause a little bit. Let me write it down. 555-9375. 555-9375. That's how you give a phone number over the telephone. So here it is. Hey, Roger, this is a phone message. This is Mike Marshev. 555-9375. Our mutual associate, Bill Alexander, Hook, suggested I give you a call. All right, now in the first 2 seconds, this guy, Roger, knows what's going on. I help families research, organize, and manage their vacations by helping them make better travel-related decisions. Now, truth, I don't know if I can help you or not. I don't know you from third base. I don't know if I can help you or not, but I'd be happy to talk to you because Bill Alexander suggested I call you. You can reach me at 555-9375. Warning, I'll also send you an email with the best times to reach me. I look forward to speaking with you soon. Okay? So that, to me, makes sense. And what I did was you break it out into 4 sections so you can rehearse it. The red section, what's going on here? Mike Marshev, phone number, Bill Alexander. Green, what do? I help families research and make good decisions. Blue, my caveat. I don't know who you are. I don't know if I can help you, but let's find out. Last closing, I'll follow up with an email like good salespeople do, and I can tell you the best time we can connect. And then you say goodbye. To me, this makes sense. And they might not be your words, but I think this is a good framework. Now, if you practice this and you didn't sound robotical, you'd pick up the phone 50 times a day. And I'm telling you, I'm absolutely in stone telling you that if you talk to 50 messaging machines a day and leave this message. Two of them are going to call you back, and one of them, and don't quote me on this, is going to take them and their family with a cruise around the world first class. And don't tell me it's not going to happen until you prove me wrong. But to me, this is another good idea. The maybe the last idea I have, I don't know yet, is inbound marketing. And I've been preaching this. I used to call it the two-step lead generation program, and HubSpot now is kind of the leader in this. If you don't get the HubSpot stuff, get it. HubSpot, Google HubSpot and check it out. But inbound marketing versus outbound marketing. And outbound marketing is called interference. I mean, I'm gonna get in your way. I'm going to interrupt you. I'm going to send you a direct mailing. I'm going to put a banner on Facebook. I'm going out to market my stuff. Well, inbound marketing, and I think this is becoming of age. And I hope you get it. And Carrie just wrote a book on this, and Dean has a book on this. This is inbound marketing, is getting people to come to you. Inbound marketing involves attracting, get them to come to you, and converting visitors. How can I get visitors? How can I get you to come to my house? Well, you're not going to come to my house if I don't invite you. If I don't, and Roberta's on the phone. She invites people Sundays to dinner. That's inbound. That's come to me, come here. I've told you 1,000 times, it's easier to answer your phone than it is to call somebody. So get other people to come to you. Have them call you. Invite them to call you. Be approachable. And be the organizer. Come to my table, come to my restaurant, come to my house, come to my place of business. You come to me because I can orchestrate a happy meeting because I'm good at that. So that's what inbound marketing is, getting more people to come to you. And the easiest way is to hang some information, hang what they're interested in. If your kid's going to go to college, I have a report on how to get your kid into college. That's what you're thinking about. I can help you. Ask for my report. Come to me and read about how to get your kid into college. If you're thinking about a river cruise, a friend of mine yesterday said, I'm going to London. I don't know where I'm going to stay. Well, what's he thinking about? London. Anything with the word London on it, he will read. That's what he's thinking about. So I want to really get you thinking like this. Not interruptive messages, but give them stuff, give them information that they're interested in. Over the past 5 years, marketers have witnessed a tectonic shift. Now, I'll have to agree with you. I right-clicked on tectonic. Now, what the heck's a tectonic shift? Well, I know what it is now. So here, email me when you find out what it is. Tell me when you find out what a tectonic shift is. I know because I don't just read stuff and just keep moving. I say, what the heck does that say? So I right-clicked it, went to the dictionary. I know what tectonic is. I'm sure some of you do, but some of you don't. Any event, there's a tectonic shift in strategy from campaign-based interruption. What can we do day in and day out to bug people, to a consistently measured closed loop inbound marketing strategy, one that pulls interested customers to your company. And then because they came to you, it was their idea to come to you. Now you can create a lasting relationship. And here's what it was in schematic form. It starts with a stranger. You have to attract the stranger. They then become a visitor. The visitor becomes a lead. A lead becomes a customer, and a customer becomes somebody who promotes your business for you. That's what we're trying to do here, is we're trying to take strangers and turn them into visitors. And how do we do that? We invite them in. We invite them into us. And one way to do it is that Carrie's doing it with his special report. Dean is doing it with his special report. That's what we have to do, is invite people in. And we did a special seminar on that and on promoting yourself as being an author. And that's what I was trying to tell you there. But any event, that's what that is all about. So I'm going to open up again, go over to, let me read some of these things here. Okay, hold on a second. Bear with me. Okay, Joe, Oli, he's done that already. Good idea. Okay. Oli came back and said, I have a September cruise with Oli. Now have 28 people booked from various. Okay, there you go. Oli, congratulations. I think that's marvelous. That it's a cruise with Oli, has 28 people booked from various sources. My hat's off to you, Oli. Um, Thank you, Carrie, for those kind remarks. Let's see. Dean says, will you make that voicemail message available to us in Word or something so we can use a template? Yes, of course. Yes. Now, remember, Dean, that this is recorded. So, yeah, I'll send it to you, but you can just go up and replay this and zoom forward to that particular piece and you can get it. It'll be right there for you. Joe came back. Tectonic is geology, is a geological word. It's shifting of rocks is what I got out of it. Let's see. What are workflows, lead scoring, CRM integration, smart calls to action? Okay, well, don't want to go into that too heavily, Eva. But you know what a blog is, social media, you know what that is, keywords and pages. Let's see. Eva's asking workflows, email workflows, lead scoring, CRM integrations, customer relations management. What it is once you get a lead, is to, and we talked about this with the autoresponders a bit long ago, Eva, is workflows is, okay, you get the email, it's a process. Now we have to develop this person in time with email over time. In other words, there's a flow chart of we'd send this 1 week, another week, and then we don't just cast our fate to the wind. We score what it is we're doing. These are leads. Some leads are good, some leads aren't good. Some leads we throw away. Some of the leads I get when people opt off my list, I want you off my list. I don't want you on my list if you're not going any further with me. So scoring leads is what that means, Eva, is that we grade our leads. Not everybody's equal. Certainly not. Hey, if you think everybody's equal, folks, that's another seminar. They're not. Everybody's not equal, and that's not a slur. And CRM integrations is customer relations management of how can we just organize and keep track of this entire thing. And that we're getting watered down there. We're getting caught up in our we're getting snagged with this low chart. I probably should have kept that off. All I want you to think, Eva, is how do I turn a stranger into a visitor? How do I shake their hand? How do I look them in the eye? How do I introduce myself? Right there. Now I decide if I have something to offer this person or not. I got to get them into a lead or nice knowing you, pal. Don't call me again. Don't bother me. Don't bug me. I want to get them into a lead column. Once they're a lead, now I work hard through repetition to get them to a customer. Once I get them to a customer, I blow their brains out with service so they go tell their aunt about me. So just think of attract, convert, close, and delight, and cross this marketing mumbo jumbo. Don't worry about that. Make up your own words right here. How's that for dodging that bullet, Eva, huh? Pretty good. Hold on, let's go. Let's keep reading here. All right, I've got some private. Okay, I have to. It says private, so therefore I can't be. When you write private, I can't read it out loud. Okay, got that. Okay. All right, Roberta, I'm gonna read your private to myself. I'm not gonna do that. Dean asked, do you feel once a year if we should delete off our email list someone who has never opened up our newsletter? Okay, good question, and here's my answer. No. And the reason being I say no is because it doesn't cost you 1 red cent to hit a blast email and have that guy on it, okay? If he asks to be taken off, you take him off. But things change. He hasn't opened your email because he all he could worry about was sending his kid to college last year. Well, the kid went to college last year, so now he's got time to open up your email. So life changes, is my point, Dean. But if it cost you something, I would say yes, maybe take it off after a certain period of time, because people on the internet have what's called a shelf life. You ask for stuff on the internet. You ask to be subscribed to a newsletter, be it on health or travel or whatever. It's your idea. You want in. And then after a certain amount of time, you lose interest and you opt out. So that's called a shelf life. So everything has a shelf life. So your information, the challenge you folks have is to keep your information so fresh that it doesn't get stale, and you lose that shelf life thing. So so I would keep them on, but I would take them off if they asked me to take them off, and maybe if they haven't asked in 5 years, Dean, maybe I would take them off, but not after 1 year because it doesn't cost anything to keep them on. And that's kind of a tongue in cheek when people tell me they get 5,000 people on their database. Well, they really only have 200 who open up their stuff. Um, Okay, thanks, Roberta. I know it's not private, but thanks for that update. Matter of fact, if you could just copy and paste that, because once I close this down, Roberta, I'm going to lose that paragraph. So cut and paste what you wrote there, starting with last Sunday at 6, and email it to me, Roberta, if you would, please. That would be great. Okay. So I think I see people starting to go back to work now. So I'm going to end this. If anybody has any last comments here, let me have them right now. Otherwise, we're going to adjourn. I'll keep you posted on that press release. Hey, go to www.moreonseries, MOREON series, moreonseries.com/river cruising. It's up, it's loaded. It's might help you, might stimulate your thinking. But thanks. Okay, you're welcome, Jan. You're welcome, Joe. I asked about promoting my travel videos. Eva, explain that to me because I don't know. I'm drawing a blank. When did you do that? And do I owe you something? Let me know, Eva, because I'm drawing a blank there about your promotional videos. Pamela, get back to work. Thank you very much. Eva, send me an email and you and I will talk about this and we'll bring it up to the group next week. Thanks, Mike. Barbara, goodbye. Go back to work. Mike M. No, it's not Mike M. It's Mike at MikeMarshev.com. If anybody wants to contact me, Mike at MikeMarshev.com. Let's see what else. I do have a special announcement coming up for my friend Nolan Burris. I wanted to mention it today, but I'm going to have to send it to you in another little outsource. He finished his boot camp and he's got a special offer for the Inner Circle people. I'll share that with you later. And let's see. Okay. I think, Marty, you're welcome, my friend. Thank you. Thank you, Eva. Okay, everybody, that's it. That's looks like we're wrapped up here. Get back to work. Go have lunch. Go have coffee. Go do whatever you do. And thank you, Nancy, for that nice comment. And over and out, Mike Marshev. Talk to you next time. Bye for now.